Hello and welcome to the Power Circuit, a must-watch program specially packaged by the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN. We are happy to bring to you the latest information about the Nigerian power sector. My name is Amara Agogoisi, and I'm taking you through this half hour on screen. Here's what we have for you today. Power Minister unveils Nigeria's advanced electricity data system. TCN board holds first retreat, reiterates commitment to transmission mandate. West African Power Pool WAP mobilizes funds at technical and financial partners meeting in Benin Republic. TCN inaugurates steering committee to review transmission expansion master plan. The Minister of Power, Engineer Boubacar D. Aliyu, has unveiled an upgraded sustainable energy for all data system that provides data for electricity access expansion.
Speaking in Abuja while unveiling the SEALL platform version 3, the minister said the new online system is within the framework of the Nigerian Energy Support Program, NESP, and was released with the support from the European Union, EU, and the German Federal Ministry of Economic Cooperation and Development, BMZ. The head of Green and Digital Economy at the European Union delegation to Nigeria and ECOWAS, Ms. Nga Stefanovic, said the collected data and the new tools will be used to serve as pre-feasibility for private sector investment, among others. The head of program NESP, Mr. Duke Benjamin, said the first version of the platform was launched in November 2020 and had significant usage of grid network data and off-grid surveys. The latest version integrated data on the mini grids, the power sector, and the solar home systems, SHS.
Apparently hitting the ground running, the board of the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, inaugurated 3 weeks ago, has held the first retreat where the members reiterated their commitment towards delivering on the transmission mandate of the company. We have the full reports.
At the two-day board retreat held in Abuja, there was full participation by the top management staff of TCN, as well as representatives of the generations companies and the distribution companies. Chairman of the TCN board, Engineer Bukar Boni, said the board had its inaugural meeting and that the retreat was to further avail the members the opportunity of getting more perspective about TCN and the entire power sector.
As you are all aware, electricity power is very crucial and plays important role in the nation's socio-economic development. Therefore, the reconstitution of the new board is coming at a crucial time when the sector is faced with numerous challenges. Obviously, these challenges we are going to confront are enormous, but are surmountable, more especially with the caliber of people appointed to govern the affairs of TCN.
He assured that with the current crop of the board members and the TCN management, the company was bound to improve on its records.
With the commitments and the determination already shown by the members of this governing board, combined with the professional management team of TCN, headed by a competent managing director in the person of Engineer Suleiman Ahmed Abdulaziz, with the cooperation of other critical stakeholders, TCN will turn around for the better this time around. Members, there is no option but to succeed. So at this junction, let me thank the Ministry of Power, more especially the Honorable Minister, the Minister of State, the Permanent Secretary, for their continuous support and encouragement.
The Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, Engineer Dr. Sule Ahmed Abdulaziz, in his remarks, gave an overview of the various papers to be presented at the retreat.
A comprehensive overview of the structure, functions, operation, status, and roles of Transmission Company of Nigeria and other related agencies under the Nigerian Electricity Supply Industry, NESI. Functions and responsibilities of board a major government organization by former PAMSEC in the office of the SGF and now PAMSEC in the Ministry of Education. Rudiments of the power sector, market and commercial overview by GM Market Operation, multilateral and development agencies and other initiatives of TCN by GM Project Coordination. Special thanks to all our speakers and facilitators here present and those that will be joining us tomorrow. Once more, you are welcome to TCN family, and I look forward to a mutually beneficial working relationship as this is a call for national service. Thank you very much and enjoy your stay in Abuja. Thank you.
The General Manager PIU Program Coordination at TCN, Engineer Joseph Chiruma, made a presentation on the multilateral agencies funding of key power transmission projects by TCN.
The project that is Abuja Transmission Projects. This is serving as looking at all the challenges we have in the FCT, both for the immediate needs, short-term and also long-term projects. So that's $170 million also starting to address those challenges. Then we also have another intervention that we have started. As soon as we complete the AMD 170 million, we are supposed to go ahead and complete what we call the Nigerian Transmission Expansion Project at the Northern Corridor. That also addresses challenges we have in the North Central and also Northwest.
Further supporting this presentation, the Executive Director, Transmission Service Provider at TCN, Engineer Victor Adewumi, said the power transmission projects are spread evenly across the country, especially where bulk power evacuation is critical.
We have a lot of power stations concentrated towards the east because that is why we have gas. So simple economics says that you locate your factory according to the source of what you are going to use for that industry. So most of the power stations are located toward the east, and we have to evacuate them.
The Commissioner Legal, Licensing and Compliance at the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission (NEC), Daffy Akpene, spoke on the legal and regulatory frameworks in the power sector, as he noted that NEC will consider another session with the TCN board on initiatives to improve on the national electricity grid.
We need to have a separate session with the board, with the commission, whereby we explain, because I don't think I don't know Alataba's background, I don't know the background of the other members of the board, but I think it's important that as a commission, we really explain the issues in the sector to you, let you know the initiatives that we are taking, and the serious mandates that have been entrusted with this institution that we've been given. Also, we must also bear in mind that as directors, corporate governance cannot be overemphasized.
The TCN board members engaged NEC Commissioner in an interactive session as they demonstrated their commitment towards working with the regulator to chart a better course for the power sector. The Executive Director, Independent System Operations at TCN, Engineer Maman Lawal, then spoke about the system operations aspects of the Nigerian electricity supply industry, NESI.
Our engineers have been initiated to come up with network automation facilities that emulate some of the applications, especially EMS function. It's a sound initiative of the TCN. So a lot is being done. We have remedial action in terms of appropriate load scheme. That's why That's why grid stability has improved over time. That's why, collapse incidents reduced from 15 to 2. So these are the cases.
A consultant, Professor Mike Ikupolati, took the board members on a company direction course towards having a successful board.
You don't need to become an expert, but you need to have an understanding of the nature of the business so that if management brings anything to you, you can critique what they are bringing and be able to make useful contribution. This is key.
The power circuit continues in a moment. Please stay on.
Verify that land before you buy it. To drastically reduce the incidence of building under the transmission right-of-way or encroaching on designated TCN land, members of the public are hereby requested to verify land near or along transmission line route before purchasing it. Verification should be made in the Land Development Authority or at the TCN office. This would help in drastically reducing the incidence of building under transmission line right-of-way and save us all the problem of pulling down the structure or truncating transmission line expansion projects in your community due to court injunction. Help us serve you better. Verify that land before you buy it.
The Republic of Benin recently hosted the 38th coordination meeting of the technical and financial partners of the West African Power Pool WAP, with full representation by the Executive Board of WAP led by Engineer Dr. Sule Ahmed Abdulaziz.
WAP is the ECOWAS agency responsible for regional energy integration, while the biannual statutory meeting of the Executive Board of WAP and its technical and financial partners is aimed at mobilizing the necessary funding for electricity generation and transmission infrastructure that will help in establishing the ECOWAS regional electricity markets. The technical and financial partners include the French Development Agency AFD, the Japanese International Cooperation Agency JICA, the African Development Bank AFDB, the World Bank, the West African Development Bank BOAD, the German International Cooperation Agency GIZ, the United States Trade and Development Agency USTDA, among others. In his keynote address, the Chairman Executive Board of WAP, Engineer Dr. Sule Ahmed Abdulaziz, thanked the leadership of the Benin Republic for providing the platform to host the meeting in the country.
In particular, His Excellency Mr. Patrick Talon, President of the Benin Republic, not only for the very warm welcome and hospitality extended to all of us here, but also for the continued support toward the development of the WAP and energy integration ideals of ECOWAS. I must indeed register my deep thanks to the Honorable Minister in charge of Energy of Benin, the representative of the Economy and Finance Minister, for making time out of their busy schedules to grace this occasion. Your presence here, Honorable Minister, gives us much encouragement and convey a strong signal to our partners of the commitment that our respective governments have toward the energy integration efforts of West Africa.
Engineer Abdulaziz, who is also the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, lauded the financial and technical partners for their consistent support to promote the agenda of the West African Regional Electricity Pool.
Appreciation to you, our partners, for your participation in this meeting despite your busy mid-of-year schedules. It is an undisputed fact that your constant availability to take part in deliberations involving WAP has contributed tremendously to getting WAP to where it is today.
He called for the continuous support of the partners to ensure that WAP realizes its electricity market and improve on energy security in the sub-region, just as he recounted the milestones the pool has reached so far.
The holding of this 38th coordination meeting of WAP technical and financial partners indicate that we are resolute in working together are moving forward with the primary objective of attaining full operationalization of the regional electricity market within the ECOWAS sub-region in no distant future, with the expectation of assuring a regular and reliable energy supply to all the citizens of ECOWAS. The WAP has made some modest strides, and more milestones are expected to be achieved by the end of this year. And one of the aims of this meeting is to present to you the status of the development of the priority projects, the regional electricity market, and the acceleration of works of the WAP Information and Coordination Center, as well as increased capacity building activities for the benefit of the WAP members' utilities.
Also speaking, the Secretary General of WAP, Mr. Sengi Apolineki, explained the proceedings of the meeting as he noted that the various projects of the pool were ongoing, including the WAP Information and Coordination Center in Abomi, Calavi, Benin. The Minister of Energy, Benin Republic, Dona Joan Claudio Hassau, welcomed the participants to the country, assuring that the country will continually support the energy security objectives for WAP member countries.
The Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, Engineer Dr. Sule Ahmed Abdulaziz, has inaugurated the Steering Committee for the Review of Transmission Expansion Master Plan. This is to ensure that the company keeps up with its pace of power transmission investments in the country. Members of the committee were drawn from the generation companies, the distribution companies, and the transmission company of Nigeria, TCN.
Speaking at the ceremony, the MD of TCN, Engineer Abdulaziz, who was represented by the Executive Director, Independent System Operations at TCN, Engineer Maman Lawal, welcomed the participants, whom he lauded for always collaborating for such industry assignments.
Before I make the presentation, I would like to apologize on behalf of the Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer of the Transmission Company of Nigeria, Engineer Abdulaziz, for his inability to attend in person. We are honored and really grateful for your usual cooperation. Today's event marks the commencement of this very important industry assignment. I call it an industry assignment because the impact and benefit of a well-articulated transmission expansion plan is not limited to the TCN alone, but to the entire industry. Likewise, the necessary inputs for developing a good transmission expansion plan must come from all industry stakeholders.
The TCN has said the Transmission Expansion Plan is a document that allows justifiable investments in the transmission segment of the Nigerian power sector.
The Transmission Expansion Plan is a document that determines justifiable investments in the transmission system over a planning horizon. It forms the basis for critical regulatory decisions related to the capital investment as well as the revenue requirements of the Transmission Company of Nigeria that will guide and finance the transmission system development over the planning period. In this regard, the importance of the transmission expansion plan cannot be overemphasized, as the outcomes of the plan will give strategic impact on the operations and service delivery of all grid users. The grid code requires the independent system operator to develop the transmission expansion plan for the network and periodically review same for the purpose of evaluating its efficacy against current realities and realigning it to achieve the developmental needs of the system.
Also speaking, the General Manager PIU Program Coordination at TCN, Engineer Joseph Chiruma, said there was a fair representation of officials from the generation, transmission and distribution, including the officials from the Federal Ministry of Power and the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission to review the master plan, which was launched in 2017.
The master plan was supposed to cover a period of about 20 years. So we are supposed to cover between 2015 to 2035. You'll agree with me that power or growth in load is something that is not static, so there is need for continual review. So whatever has been developed in 2015 and adopted in 2017, you all agree with me that we need to continue to update our network. And that is why we are all here in this house to do it together. We cannot continue to at least engage consultants to continue to do this review. We'll agree that whatever they have done should be as a foundation that has been laid for all of us to continue to build on it.
The General Manager System Planning, Engineer Kabiru Adamu, in a presentation further gave insight into the master plan.
By nature, transmission planning has to be a long term. That is why we are looking at it from the long-term perspective, and the plan we are reviewing is actually a 20 years transmission expansion plan. It is a requirement of the grid code that the system operator should develop a long-term transmission expansion plan for the system, and that plan should be periodically revised to reflect the realities of the system. So the most recent plan we have is the one that was commissioned in 2017 and conducted by the consultants, Messrs. Fitchner of Germany. And we've been operating it for about 5 years now. It is due for review in line with the requirements of the grid code. And this time around, the management of TCN saw it ripe that the plan should not be undertaken by external consultants, but it should be taken in-house by the TCN engineers. And of course, with the solid collaboration of you, the participants in the market, because the plan is not only a plan for TCN, but a plan for the system. And given that we're planning it for you people, to be able to serve you adequately, it means that your inclusion in the entire process is actually a key.
There was an interactive session by the participants shortly after the presentation, with the speakers lauding TCN for the initiative. The Executive Director, Independent System Operations at TCN, Engineer Maman Lawal, then inaugurated the committee on behalf of the Managing Director of TCN, Engineer Dr. Sule Ahmed Abdulaziz.
On behalf of the Managing Director, CEO of the Transmission Company of Nigeria, Engineer Sule Ahmed Abdulaziz, your committee is hereby inaugurated.
This is the Power Circuit, and here are the reports we brought to you. You have heard that the Minister of Power, Engineer Abubakar D. Aliyu, has unveiled Nigeria's Advanced Electricity Data System. The board of TCN has held its first retreat where they reassured Nigerians of their commitment towards supporting the delivery of the transmission mandate. And in Benin Republic, the West African Power Pool WAP, led by the Chairman, Executive Board, Engineer Sule Ahmed Abdulaziz, met with technical and financial partners towards continuous support for ongoing regional electricity projects. Planning is key, and TCN is mindful of this as the company also inaugurated a steering committee to review its transmission expansion master plan. Thank you for being there always. Watch this episode and all others on the TCN YouTube channel. And we have more of these platforms to keep the conversation going. Stay with us for another exciting edition of the Power Circuit. I am Amara Agogoisi. Bye for now.